Hi, this is Stephanie with Stephanie's Film Takes, and you just saw The Chosen today.
I
So,
did.
um, tell us, we've seen many movies and TV series about the life of Jesus and stories in the Bible. Some are very well acclaimed, like Roma Downey's The Bible, Mel Gibson's The Passion of the Christ, Charlton Heston's The Ten Commandments, and many others. So, what sets this biblical show apart from all the other Bible shows?
Um, I really like it because it just really gets into to me the depth of the individuals of the apostles and that relationship with Jesus. Um, like I've just never seen you really start to identify with what you're going through in your life. So yeah.
Yeah, it's more on a personal level and it's not so um there's not that distance, like you feel almost like you know them.
Yeah, I mean it's like it's not all of those films are generally, it's like historical accounts. This is like, wow, I could see myself there. I could see that. Oh yeah, I'm dealing with that in my life or something like that. So very identifiable.
Now, what are the main things they do to make it feel relatable? Is it the way they talk? I heard they have like the accent. They try and do a Jewish accent. How accurate do you think that is, or does that?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know about the accent or, that or how they speak or whatever. It's actually, to me, again, it's just the humanness. That's the thing. It's like, wow, you remember reading these passages in the Bible and you're going, "Oh, that's really amazing." But then when you see it like played out and a very human experience with all these different things tied in. It's like, oh wow, I never saw that passage like that before. Wow, this really brings a whole new depth. And like I said, then it's the humanness of who they are.
So, um, how accurate do you think it is to the scripture? I've heard that they take some liberties. Do you think that adds or takes away, or?
Well, so two sides of that. I know that's always the question out there. Oh well, it's not scripturally accurate. I think it is scripturally accurate. Yes, they have all these side aspects, but the Bible itself says, not everything was recorded. Did all those different things happen? No, but what it does is it ties everything together to still bring out the core scripture, the core truth. That's the whole thing. And so, yeah, there's these different aspects that you don't read in the Bible. They may or may not have happened. That's not the point. It what it does is it ties it all together to the actual scripture that's in the Bible. So it brings that to life.
So the integrity of the scripture isn't lost.
Absolutely. I definitely, I would say not only is it not lost, but it's enhanced. It gives you a whole nother new dimension, a whole nother um, just uh, way of viewing their experience. And like I said, then you're relating it to your own life and your relationship with God and what you're dealing with in life and all these things. And you're going, oh wow, that's really applicable to me here. That's really, that's exactly what so and so is going through. Wow.
Does it make you want to read the Bible more?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, because then these I want to say characters, but really these apostles, these people that really lived, they're all of a sudden alive and it's like, wow, I really want to read what that person wrote, and how they wrote. Now it just really brings a lot of excitement.
Um, so what character or characters do you relate to the most?
Well, so because I'm Peter, I relate to Peter, and and honestly, I do relate to Peter in a lot of those episodes because he's zealous and oh he's like I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it. And he's just like all gung ho, but then he fails and he blows it and he messes up, and I'm like, duh, that's me. I'm like, wow, yeah, I'm all on fire for God, but then I blow it, and it's like, yeah, so you know, I guess I take the good, bad, and the ugly there.
Yeah, we can all relate to Peter. So is he your favorite character? Or do you have another one besides Jesus?
um, wow. Gosh, I got to think about that for a minute because every one of them I love each and every one of them different ways. Um, you know, I would say little James,
Mm.
because little James is he's smaller than big James, obviously, but he was born with, I think, one leg longer than another, and so he's always struggled with walking, and he's always struggled with this infirmity that, and he doesn't think much of himself. He thinks himself so inferior. And that really is what is so amazing, because God just spoke to him and said, "You don't understand. I'm going to use that for my glory. And you're going to see what I'm able to do. It's amazing."
Wow, I gotta watch those
Yeah.
episodes. Have you learned anything new or surprising you didn't know before?
Um,
Like you've read these passages of scripture, but watching the show, did certain things stand out to you that never stood out to you before in the scripture
oh
from the
my
show?
gosh, every single one. I mean, it's just like lights get turned on, and throughout the whole um, drama of, wow, I never realized this. I never thought about that. I'm trying to think of one that just really stood out. Well, it just, I guess what I want to say is like, uh, you know, just like the struggle, even with Judas, that's one of the things, Judas
Mm.
denies Christ, right? But then you realize that Judas, he was following Christ. He really believed. And he so much, wanted Christ to be the deliverer, the king that everyone thought, but he couldn't get away with that. It had to be something physical instead of, God was talking about a spiritual kingdom. And he struggled so hard with that. And it's like, um, I just see Judas a kind of in a different light. Again, yes, he betrayed Christ, but oh my gosh, the struggles or the same things that you know uh, the other disciples dealt with, um, just in a way that I never imagined. I guess. Oh, I tell you one. Um, you know, uh, One was when Jesus uh, told them to go, um, uh, to go and find some a male at a well, getting water. Well, I never thought about this before, but that was totally unheard of. Only women went to the well to get water back then.
Mm. Wow.
And so they're looking at him puzzled, like, in the middle of the day, a male going and getting water at a well, that's not going to happen. Well, it
Mm.
did. And that's just
Wow.
it. But it's so tied in, and it's like, wow, I never realized the significance of those different things, why it's so significant
Mm.
in scripture.
Hmm. So, is there anything you would change about the show?
Honestly, right now, I can't think of anything um, that I would change. It is, without a doubt, in my mind, the best production ever of the Bible and the New Testament and the disciples.
Okay, so who would you recommend this show to and why?
Oh, most movies or shows, I would have select people to watch whatever it was, but with this, I would say everybody, anybody, and everybody, including, especially, I guess, including if you're an atheist or agnostic. um, watch it, watch the whole thing. I honestly don't believe anybody could watch it without being changed and without coming to a point where they have to make a decision. Is Jesus Christ the Son of God? Did he come to this earth um, to redeem people? And can you have a relationship with God? I think watching this, you you would end up coming to that point where you have to ask yourself that serious question.
So even if you're totally unfamiliar with church and the Bible, you don't know, would a person like that enjoy the show?
Actually, I think that's the beauty of this. You don't have to go to church. You don't have to know Christians. You don't have to read the Bible, although I would recommend it. But you don't have to do all that. Just watch. Just watch. Just watch. It's the safest way that you can encounter Christ. That's my thoughts. It's the safest way. No one's going to be, you know, bugging you and asking you questions or anything like that. No one's going to be preaching at you. It's not preachy. It's not, again, it's not like this historical account at all. It's real life. And it's real. And that's a, I keep saying, it's like, it's going to meet you right where you're at. That's the thing.
And what do you think of Jonathan Rumi's portrayal of Jesus?
Amazing. Again, I have all the different movies I've seen over the years. I have never encountered someone who does it so phenomenally well as him. I can't imagine anybody doing it better. He's great.
So what would you rate the show out of 10 in total?
10 plus out of 10. If you can get a higher number than 10, definitely.
All right, well, thank you so much. Looks like we're out of time.